Welcome to this step-by-step tutorial to create a Microsoft Paint interface for Krita. If you haven't installed Krita on your device yet, we highly recommend you to find and follow our previous content on our channel at the most basic level, such as installation and general introduction and comprehensive interface. As a first step, we launched Krita, and the program opened right after a great 25th anniversary cover image. Every time you open Krita, you will see the welcome screen. And to start going into the details of the Krita interface and make it look like the new MS Paint interface, we first go to the option to create a new image file. As soon as we click, we are presented with a new document creation dialog or panel. The panel provides you with preset or modifiable and customizable templates for the type of document you will create. For the default setting of the document we are going to create, we have chosen a resolution in pixel inches with a preset of A3 and 600 pixels per inch, and then we set the orientation of the canvas to landscape instead of portrait. We create an image document with the presets we have chosen. Don't miss the short reminder about Krita Interface Basics, which will be a short and quick preview that we will present to you in a moment. You can find more information on our channel. If you have just installed the Krita software, or have not yet made any changes to the normal interface settings, you will see approximately this kind of workspace layout. Basically, in Krita, or other industry standard drawing design art software, we can say that the interface actually consists of two main parts. The first is the workspace, in the center of which is a canvas connected to the layer system. And in the areas outside of it are sub-windows and toolboxes, also called dockers, usually attached to the edge boundaries of the application. In Krita, it divides access to most of its features into functional panels called dockers. Dockers are small windows that can contain, for example, things like a layer stack, color palette, or brush presets. Think of them as a painter's palette, set of watercolors or brushes. In fact, in general, you can think of the Krita editor as a real-life painter's workspace, with a canvas in the center and drawing design tools, brushes, paints and pencils, and other tools and materials around it. After a brief reminder about interface basics, let's get back to our main topic. So now, how do we make Krita look and feel like the new MS Paint? The first thing we're going to do is open the new MS Paint software at the same time and do a preliminary inspection. MS Paint is a simple and free painting application with limited features and tools, never professional and designed only for Microsoft users. And the truth is that in its current form, it will never meet professional needs. MS Paint has a very limited and simple painting application editor interface with a canvas in the center of the workspace and menus and toolbars above it. It would be funny to compare MS Paint to an industry standard software like Krita, but we have prepared this content for beginners or those who have never used any other painting application other than MS Paint, and to point out the flexibility and superiority of the Krita interface. To summarize, what we are going to do now is to first remove from the Krita interface those interface elements that are not similar in MS Paint, and then make it as similar as possible to MS Paint in terms of placement and layout. We opened both editors side by side. As you may remember from the previous interface tutorial, we showed you how to set dark theme, light theme, and other theme types. Since we prefer a dark theme even in MS Paint, we prefer a dark theme that is most similar to dark themes, or that we can say is okay for us. There are dark and light themes in almost the same color tone. As we mentioned before, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. You can choose a light theme or any of the dark themes. We can make the Krita editor full screen again and start making more detailed changes to the interface. The color palette is located above in MS Paint, so we place the color palette in a similar position above. In the same way, we position the side tool panel, or side toolbar, at the top. By the way, we turn off feature items and panels from the editor interface that cannot be found in MS Paint. One of them being the Advanced Color Picker panel. Krita has sample ready-made color palettes, where you can change the color palette in more flexible ways, as well as color palette options that you can create yourself or include from outside. If you want, you can also position the color palette as the top tab. The goal here is to create a similar working environment with interface elements as limited as or close to MS Paint. You can expand and collapse the palette even where you are positioned and choose more granular options in the palette editor settings. For example, you can change the number of rows and columns in the palette as you like. You can rearrange individual colors in the palette, or even delete some or all colors from the palette. As we mentioned before, our main goal here is to create a similar working environment with limited interface elements, as much as or close to MS Paint. You can make different arrangements if you wish. It does not have to be exactly the same. For example, the Brush Preset panel is a useful customizable advanced toolkit that we often prefer in some of our work, but we will sacrifice it to stay close to the simple MS Paint interface. And when we need to change the brush preference, we will make the necessary brush change again via the brush icon in the toolbar above. Of course, the Tool Options panel, a must-have for professional design editors, which instantly gives us the necessary settings for each tool and allows us to make the necessary changes and preferences no matter which tool we choose, such as a brush balancer or vector tools selection tools. Unfortunately, to get closer to MS Paint, we have to sacrifice this professional feature and remove the Tool Options panel. The Overview window is a panel we need especially for large works. A primitive version is available in MS Paint, but it is not very practical and almost useless. In Krita, this panel allows you to see a complete overview of your image. It also helps us perform basic navigation operations, such as angled rotation of the canvas. Dragging the zoom slider allows you to quickly change the zoom. Meanwhile, the new MS Paint has a simple layer system and is presented with large icon images when opened on the right side. Krita also has icon sizes and many more professional layer stack system preferences and features, but they are ready for you if you need them, and many of them you may not even need to use, or it depends on your preferences and tastes, your working style, and competence. Despite all these professional features, the Krita editor offers you a user-friendly, intuitive, and very practical working environment that you can transform as you wish. We removed the brushes and stuff section from the top toolbar and opened it again. This section contains very basic features that are not available in MS Paint, and although it does not take up much space in the interface, it is very functional and useful. As we have covered in our previous content, we will cover it in much more detail in our upcoming content. In the toolbar above, we can reposition the part that helps us to change the color of the front area and the color of the back area, but we don't have to do everything exactly like MS Paint. We can change the brushes in a pop-up window from the icon in the toolbar above. For the test, we draw random doodles and shapes on canvas. Okay, with the relevant layer selected on the canvas, we quickly cleared it with the delete key. Let's quickly try a similar test by adding another layer. This time, with a different brush or pen tool. In both MS Paint and Krita, we can add and remove rulers in pixel units and make them visible at the boundaries of the workspace. As for navigation, even the new version of MS Paint is quite cumbersome, limited, and impractical. There are no options like canvas rotation, angle rotation, circular rotation, and many more limitations. But in Krita, a software that can meet professional needs, navigation is very practical, intuitive, and fluid and flexible. We make a few more quick changes to the color palette and test a few more colorful doodles on the canvas. We almost got a similar interface to MS Paint. We could have made the colors on the canvas exactly the same or made other layouts more similar, but as we mentioned at the beginning, our main goal here is to create a similar working environment with limited interface elements as much or close to MS Paint. Apart from all these, we save our current workspace layout as MS Paint v1 in the Workspace Preference panel, and we can continue to use this workspace preference in the next work or whenever we wish. While we're here, let's take a look at some other workspace presets that are covered in more detail in our other content. You can follow the previous and next episodes of the series, which will continue with more and different content in the following episodes on our channel. We plan to release a series of tutorials on our channel that will cover all this and more in detail. Let's keep exploring Krita software together and unleash our creativity. We will continue the series with much more beautiful trainings, and we will be with you again very soon.